So this is my gas stove here. Right down there, see that little blue flame? There's a little bit of orange on top. It's right on the sensor like it's supposed to be, but what happens with this as we start heating it up, the flame right in here starts lifting off that sensor, and that's what's causing the burners to go out. At least that's what I think it is. I'm not so entirely certain. But it looks like we have a real good flame going as far as the pilot goes. So what I did do was I ordered a whole new assembly for this, and that's what we're going to do right now, is attempt to install one of these and see if that doesn't fix our problem. Okay, spoiler alert, I actually did get the unit out already. It is fixed, it is running, but I just needed to point out some other things. After I was watching the video, I realized I neglected to tell you basically how this works. There's a couple of things you probably want to be trying before you actually go and replace this entire unit. I think this unit cost me $60, and it might be something as simple as cleaning the devices that are on the unit. I actually did clean it, and I've done it 2, 3, 4, 5 times, and to no avail. Every time it would just it would still go out. But basically what you have here is, right here is your thermocoupling. Over here is your thermal pile. And in here, this here is your pilot. This right here is an electrode that when you push the button, it sparks over to ignite the gas when you're pushing the gas down to ignite the pilot. What's supposed to happen ideally is the gas should be coming out, you should have a flame coming out, fully engulfing the top of the thermocoupling right here. If the flame lifts up and off that, this will cool off, and that will cause the system to actually shut down. Over here is the thermal piling. The thermal piling needs to be hot and fully engulfed as well in order for the burner to actually come on. This is what sends the signal to the burner to actually come on. If for some reason it were lifting off of this, or you didn't have a hot enough flame, the burner would go out. Our issue was the pilot was going out as well. So I knew it was definitely right in here. Prior to trying to replace all of this, what you want to do is you want to take a piece of emery cloth, or sandpaper, some real rough grit sandpaper, and sand this down. Clean these all off. The electrode as well. What happens is a lot of carbon will build up on them. They get dirty, and then they don't sense properly, and that can cause it to go out. But in this case, our flame was lifting off, and as you see throughout the video, you'll see that we definitely didn't have the flame we needed here. So before installing any kind of gas lines, always be sure to shut the gas off. You don't want to be working with it with a live gas line. And I do have that off right now down here. I did get this cover off already. There was basically just 4 screws. I had to remove the igniter here from the inside, which is fine because that needs to be reattached. That's all part of the assembly in the kit. Yeah, and the only other thing I had to do was I did have to take some of the these connectors out first, and I do have a right here. This is for a thermostat on it. I probably should have been recording beforehand. I'm pretty sure green one on the bottom, black one on the top. I don't think it really matters. I know nothing was in the middle. But I think the hardest part about this entire job right now is going to be getting way up to the back there, where some of those connectors are. There's two gas lines that need to be changed around in here. I'm not even sure I'm going to be able to get the camera down in there to show everybody what's going on, but we'll see. First thing you got to do is get this the top half of this assembly out. There's 2 screws down there. They're not sure I can get you guys down in there to see that. In fact, I can't even really see it with this light. There's one. I found one of them. Hopefully this doesn't break on me. That's one side. And there should be another one over here on the other side. Yep, there it is. Alright, turns out it was American 1/2 inch. I had the, no, not 1/2 inch. It's 7/16. I had the wrong wrench. I had the metric set. This one here is going to be pretty easy to get to. It's the one up the back that I'm really concerned about. I'm not sure I'm going to be able to get there. That's a gas line, so I've got it disconnected. Hopefully we don't smell gas, and I don't, so we're doing good there so far. Now if I can just figure out a way to get to this other one way up the back, this one up the back is going to be a real pain in the ass to get to. So all right, first I got to make sure I have the right size wrench. My hand might be in the way here, but basically doing all this by feel at this point. I can't seem to find where I was. I found them. Not going to help. I did get it cracked loose. Just can't seem to stay on there. There's not a lot of room in here. It's definitely cracked loose. I'm sure there's an easier way to do this. Ah. You can see it turning. This sucker's gonna be tight the whole way, isn't it? It'd be nice if that whole fucking unit just came out of there, which I'm sure it does. I don't want to mess with the main gas line, though. All right, put my hand in the way. All right, well, I got that back one off. It comes out pretty tight the whole way. Should hopefully now be able to lift from up top here, maybe pull this whole thing out. And as I recall, I have a couple of wires that do need to be disconnected. I'm not sure I'm gonna make it past up here though. I might make that. Oh, there's that screw I dropped. Dropped that one off camera. Didn't think I'd ever see that again. Alright, that did look like it might snap right under. Okay, yep, we got her out. We got her out of there. Now I know there was two more wires down here. There they are. Okay, those two wires have to be disconnected right there. And now we'll just get the new one and do a comparison check here. Okay, so that's the new the old unit out. I was trying to be careful not to straighten the tubes out, only because I kind of wanted to see which way the bends went, so that I knew roughly what I had to do with this newer one right here. Yeah, basically what I'm telling you is I don't know what I'm doing. Okay, I'm gonna see if I can get you guys down in there. This line right here, that line is going to be your toughest, the toughest part of this job. I got small hands. It just took me probably a good 15 minutes by feel trying to feed that line into the threads. You just got to keep working at it and make sure it's just basically going on, you know, the line is kind of straight going towards the inlet that's there. Once you get it caught, after that, the rest should be pretty easy. I still have to tighten that down. I haven't tightened it. It's only finger tight right now. I also would recommend that you not put this line in first. I actually did not try to put it in with that line in the way as it was. I almost was going to take this line out, but this line is the main line that goes to the burners, and I really didn't want to mess with those. So I left that in and I worked around it. So for you guys with bigger hands, I'm thinking this might be the better way to do it. Take the this gas line off, and you might be able to get your hand back there to line up the one that's in the back better. All right, well, that's my lines all hooked up. I'm gonna try the gas on now, and let's see if I blow up. Well, that's a good sign. Nothing blew up. And all right, before I put everything together, I'm going to try the pilot here. I can hear it flowing. That's a good sign. The question is it flowing up top or down the bottom? Wondering if that thing might have been a clogged pilot. Well, let's see if I can find the flint start right here. Okay. Now this is supposed to just hook up right here. All right. I still have to screw everything down anyway. Alright, well, I got the pilot lit. It does look like a much better flame than we had before. Before we had like an orange on the top of that. So it looks to me like maybe this, oh, and if you look also, there's kind of like a glow all around the whole pilot. Where, yeah, there was definitely not as much flow in the other pilot. I got a feeling this pilot actually is going to fix the problem. No, I don't have a feeling. I'm positive. Anyway, we don't smell any gas. That's a good sign. Now let's finish putting this back together. There shouldn't be any leaks. Thermostat may be wrong. Well, let's see what happens if I take it off thermostat. Still nothing. It's on. That's weird. It should have lit by now. We got a good pilot. Unless I got these wires wrong. All right, let's do a little more troubleshooting. That should have kicked on by now. All right, so I've had this thing going for at least a half hour now, maybe a little bit more. Usually this thing will blow out every 20 minutes with the old pilot in there. I had to pull it apart again because the burner wouldn't come on. I had the pilot lighting without an issue at all. At this point, I'm not entirely sure I still have this wired correctly yet, but right here, I had this wire down here, and apparently I think according to the service manual, it's supposed to go up here. I'm not entirely sure. I do have a thermostat. I'm going to have to mess with that. I'm not sure if these wires get changed when you put a thermostat on it, so I'm going to have to do some investigating on that. But right now, this thing is working. With the wiring set up this way. The other thing I found was back here. I had to pull it apart again. Down here, when I had taken the cover off, this piece here, this wire right here, this connection had gotten disconnected, so it was still hanging around, floating inside. This is definitely needed in order for the burner to come on. That's how the system knows to turn the burner on. So we're going to be buttoning this thing up, and then I'll be messing with the thermostat to see if we can't get that back to working again. The other issue I had too was I had another hanging wire right here. This one here I know I pulled off. That's just for the light when you open the front cover door so you can see the controls. But anyway, at this point, this looks like it's going to be a success. This here is the part number. I think it's EC016, the W25B3. Very well could be part of it as well. I ordered this directly from, I believe it was Enviro. I'll find out where I ordered these, and I'll leave all the links down on the bottom. But just as a point, when ordering this kit, you got to be sure that you order the correct one. It doesn't really matter, because if you look at the top of the this particular assembly, it's got 4 like venturis, or 4 inlets or outlets, whatever you want to call them, where the gas will flow through. This is for propane, and this is, I believe, what they call the LP version. LP is the nomenclature for propane. When they send you this kit, it does come with both the the heads. One head is for the propane, the other is for natural gas. And if you look here, let's see if I can get that to focus right, and you can see this one only has 3 venturis or outlets, whatever have you. This one is for natural gas. It doesn't really matter, they give you both, but if you order it for the one that you actually have, it will come assembled already. If you order the wrong one, you're gonna, the way it would happen, for example, if I had natural gas instead of propane, it would have come this way, and then I would have had to actually swap this out myself. What they do is they send you both. I'm not sure why, but you do get both, and it was just one less step for me not to have to change the the actual pilot head.